Welcome to Be Here with YB, and it's none other than your world's greatest host. Here at Be Here with YB, we do journalism our way. But today we're going to have an intimate conversation in the private sector. What I want to talk about is I want to talk to America. And we also later on in the show going to go to the lines. Reason being because I want to hear what America thinks about this topic that we have, this topic that we're about to discuss. This question that has been asked to me multiple times that I talk about it personally. And I talk to people about, how I feel about the situation. And that question, if you're wondering what that question is should felons have the right to have their gun rights restored? I pondered on that for a second. I thought to myself, me being somebody who has lived a lifestyle where I was once in the streets, I once committed crimes, I once did things. Should I be the subject of being someone who can't protect their family or someone who can't possess a firearm to be able to protect my home? Now, don't get me wrong, in states like Texas, after a certain amount of time, I think it's like 5 years, or 5 years out of prison, or off of supervised probation or parole, you are able to possess a firearm within your home. Okay, but if you are caught with that firearm, then you are subjected to federal law. State law and federal law are two different laws. Which brings me to the conclusion. We have states that come together and say, you know what? We will give felons their guns back due to certain criteria. You might have to go through this program. You might have to do this. You might have to file this paperwork. But on the other hand, the federal law does not agree with it. And that's something that has jarred me for a long time. Now I sit here pondering and wondering, will felons ever get their rights to have their guns? Will felons ever be able to protect and bear arms like normal citizens have? This is a topic that has been over time swept under the rug repeatedly. Nobody really wants to talk about it. Nobody really wants to give it a push. But today on Be Here with YB, we're gonna hear from the audience. We're gonna hear from the country. We're gonna hear from those who are felons. We're gonna hear from those who aren't felons. We're gonna hear from those who know, and also those who want to just give their opinion, who may not know but have a valuable opinion about why they feel felons should or should not possess firearms. One thing I can say, the more you tell people what they can't do, the more they will do. If it was regulated to a higher extent, more training, more certifications, more reasons to be able to use your weapon in the right fashion versus telling people that they can't have them back and they go out, get firearms, and do whatever it is that they want to do. Some might say, on a positive tip, whatever has happened in the past, it's in the past. Some might say, whatever you have done in the past or crime you have committed, that shouldn't stop you from being able to protect your family. Once you are on a road to redemption or have traveled your road of redemption and you are living a different life. Most of us who have been in the streets and committed crimes in the past go on to start businesses, go on to do bigger things. Why is it that we are held accountable for our past discrepancies? Some might speak about it in the negative light and say, whatever you have done, you have forfeited your right to protect yourself. So that's on you. So you mean to tell me, if you're convicted for a nonviolent crime and you are convicted and you are a felon and they take your gun rights, they take your right to bear arms, you didn't hurt anybody physically, you didn't do anything, you just got caught up in some type of situation, as we should say. Does that mean that you shouldn't be able to protect your family? I have so many opinions and so many broad perspectives about this topic that I will get into later. But first, I want to hear from people in the streets. I want to hear from America. And that's why we're going to go to the lines. Let's get it.
You got to put the phone to you. Hey, you can hear me?
Yeah, what's going on? We got our first call on the line. What's going on, man? Welcome to
Hey,
Be Here
man,
with
same,
YB.
man. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Most definitely, man. The question that we got today is: should felons have their gun rights restored? What is your opinion
Oh,
on that topic?
absolutely. Me personally, I think absolutely, yeah, because I think the biggest thing is in the Bill of Rights in our amendments, it does not say that only citizens who haven't made mistakes have the right to bear arms and that those rights shouldn't be infringed upon. It says all citizens, right? So that goes for any American, and I honestly believe that's one of the things that makes America, beautiful, bro, is that we all have those rights and that they can't be taken from us. So to answer
Where you
your
calling
question, yeah,
from? Let me ask you, where you calling from?
we're calling from Sacramento, California.
Sacramento, California.
Yeah,
Okay,
my
and
name's Nico. I'm from Sacramento, California, North Highlands to be specific. Um, yeah,
okay.
city of the trees.
Have you ever been convicted of a felony?
I have. I was convicted of a felony, three felonies actually as a juvenile. Two 211s and another one charged with a 707, but those charges were
And so did you complete? Did you do your time on your charge?
yes.
And
Yeah,
they and
in court they actually told me that I can't own a gun until after 21 or after I got it expunged. So I went through the due means, the process to make that happen. It was a long process, but I was able to get those rights restored to me, and I do think that there should be some vetting process, and there should be some process, some type of work you got to put in to get those rights back. I agree with that, but at the end of the day, bro, I honestly feel like that is it's a right, not a privilege. You know what
right.
I mean? And I don't feel if especially when we see how much of a tyrannical government, the United States really is. We could talk about democracy all day, but at the end of the day, they want to keep the guns and they don't want you to have them. At the end of the day, as we see as much violence is going on in our society today, I think it only makes sense that we should be able to protect and defend ourselves.
So let me ask you, how important is it to own a gun and to have a gun in
I would
today's society?
I would say that it is of the utmost importance, for every American, every citizen. I strongly believe in that. I believe it's one of the most important things is the ability to protect and defend yourself and security. Nothing. There's nothing no more important than that.
Right. I agree with you on that. And I got one more question for you.
Yes, sir.
For those Americans who have lost their rights to bear arms,
Yeah.
would you hold as a citizen, say that we took a poll, we took a vote, and
Yeah.
that vote consisted of you having to make the decision for felons who have committed other crimes. We're gonna just say
Right.
drug crimes because we're not gonna go
Yeah.
to the violent offenders. We're not gonna talk
Yeah.
murder,
Sure.
or we're not gonna talk
Yeah.
anything of that nature. Because like you
Yeah.
said, I feel like you have to go through extensive criteria to get your gun rights back if you have committed one of
Most
those
definitely.
felonies. So
Yeah.
we're gonna talk for the non-violent offenders, those
Okay.
felons who have sold drugs, who have done things in the past, committed crimes, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
What would your vote be as far as those individuals who have walked the road of redemption and rehabilitated themselves? Would you allow them to get their gun rights back if you had the vote to make?
I would be dramatically in favor of it. Just because I absolutely do believe in redemption stories. I people have the right to change, the right to, do their time, come home, start families, start businesses, be, you know, uh, moving members of society, successful individuals, and I would absolutely vote in favor of that. Yeah,
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Nico, right?
yes, sir.
Thank you for being on Be Heard with YB, man. Your opinion is highly, highly appreciated. I thank you for joining us on the show. And
Thank you for having me, man.
yes,
Thank you for
sir.
having
Yes,
me.
sir. You have a good day, brother.
You as well.
Yeah, we're gonna take it to the lines. We're gonna go to our next caller. Welcome to Be Heard with YB. Who I got on the line?
Man, this Chris, bro. What's going on?
What's going on? Where you calling from?
I'm calling straight out of AZ.
All right, you in AZ, man. The question of the day is: should felons have the right to have their gun license restored? What's your opinion on that topic?
I got mixed feelings about that, to be honest.
Well, talk to me. Talk to me.
Cause some people, man, to be honest, some fellas don't deserve their gun license back, to be honest, because they gonna probably be on the same dirt they was on when before they got that job. But some people be innocent, be good gun owners.
Right. So
Everybody ain't meant to be. Everybody ain't meant to have a gun, but some people should have them. But at the same time, we have mixed feelings about that because it's like some people go to jail for guns. Some people go to jail for just anything. It could be weed charges. Some people need scraps, bro, to protect their families, bro. Still have right to bear arms. But like I said, to be honest, I got mixed about it, bro. Like I said, you can't just put a gun in the felon's hands and expect them to be all right. But then again, we just be overjudging shit because it's mixed feelings for me, bro. To be honest.
let me ask you for
Cause I'm a
somebody.
felon. I'm a felon. I'm a felon. You feel me?
Okay.
I'm a felon. And I keep mine, bro. I'm gonna be real, but I ain't on nothing dumb. Like I ain't on dirt. You know what I'm saying? So I'm an example of for the felons who still got theirs and when they still felons, but they ain't on dirt. They just here to protect their families.
All right. So let
But
me
as
ask
far as
you
for the one,
for
what's
somebody
up?
who have served out their time and went through the motions and come home from prison. Do you think that they shouldn't be allowed to protect their families as far as like no matter what crime they committed, that was the past. You don't believe in the past is the past?
Yeah, I believe the past is the past. I feel anybody should come home. They reformed and they been rehabilitated in their mind to where you know what I'm saying? I'm not finna be on dirt. I'm not finna just be a bully. If I'm strictly gonna protect my family, yeah, you damn right. They should have the right to protect their families. If they're gonna be protectors,
Right.
be honest, like you can't just be just assuming that I'm gonna just get out here and just be on dumb shit. But it's like prison supposed to be a place for where you go reform and rehabilitate your mind. It don't always be the case, but that's what it's for.
Right. I agree with that
So when you get
100%.
out, mm-hmm. But
So
that's just, but like I said, it's just mixed feelings about it.
I got you on that. So if we took a vote and America gave the citizens the chance to give felons their guns back, and we had to take a vote, what would your vote be? Would you vote yes or would you vote no?
I'm gonna have to go yes, bro. 'Cause like I said, I'm just speaking from somebody who is a felon, bro, a 2 time when it's dead, bro.
Hmm.
And I ain't, and I've been having mines for a while, and I ain't killed nobody yet. I ain't want to go shoot up no school.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All I do is think about protecting mines. But yeah, I'm gonna vote yes for sure because, like I said, everybody don't be on that. We just gotta, you know, sometimes our judgment, we gotta trust our judgment, bro.
I agree with you 100%. Thank you for calling in, Chris.
For sure, man.
We're gonna take a few more calls before I get back into the topic and tell y'all how I feel and what my opinion is. But we're gonna go back to the lines and we're gonna take a few more calls because I gotta hear from America. You know, we got one person who explained why they feel that felons should have their guns back, and we also have one who has mixed feelings, but also still felons should have their guns back because of his current situation. So let's just get into it and keep this thing going. We're gonna get into the next caller. You dig? Welcome to Be Heard
Hello.
with YB. Welcome to Be Heard with YB. You are on the
What's
show.
going?
What's going on? Who I got the
What's
pleasure of
go?
talking to?
You talking to PDC from Memphis, Tennessee?
What's going on, PDC? Man, we got a very touching topic today. And the question that we asking our people and we asking America is should felons have the right to have their gun license restored? But before I get into that question, tell me where you calling from again.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay, let's get it going, baby. You got that question right?
Yeah, I got that question.
All right, tell me how you feel.
Me personally, I think every felon besides a violent felon should be able to get their gun license.
Okay, could you explain the
Just
reason why
because,
you feel like that?
just because people got a family, people got loved ones that they have to protect, and if a if a person that was younger caught a felony because he was stealing something, or he might receive stolen goods or something, and the item might was worth over $2,000. Anything over $1,000 is considered a felony.
Right,
By him being young, and he go to the system. The system just wants somebody to plead guilty.
right,
He pled guilty to a felony, a theft of property, 1,000 to 10,000, and they stop him from getting his gun license. Let's just say that happened at the age of 21, 22.
hmm
Uh, he could be 30 now. He done changed his life. He done got a business. You know, his business really doing good. He done made a way for his family. Now, if he done did all these things, why can't he have his gun license? Because people every day are getting robbed. People every day are getting killed. You know,
right.
and I think the people should have the right to be able to protect themselves. It's just like telling a felony, you get a felony. If somebody else come to you with a gun, they can do something to you and you can't protect yourself. They have the right to kill you, and they just don't see right. You know, that's not right. I think every person on this earth should be able to protect themselves, no matter what cause. You know,
I agree. And that's just
but
like, go ahead.
but when it's a convicted felon that been convicted of murder, he committed a crime with a weapon. Now, okay, of course, no gun license. It's a rapist here. He done raped kids, he done raped ladies, and probably even boys. Of course, no gun license.
Right,
You feel what I'm saying? Like
100%.
it should be like that. That's high crime. That's high violence. And I think if you ain't never did a crime with a weapon, period, and you got a felony, and you can't get your gun license, that's just not right, man. You ain't did nothing with no weapon. Now,
It's like putting you
on the,
out there on the streets and just saying that just do, like you said, just do whatever you want to do to him. There's nothing he can do
this,
anyway.
it's nothing he can do anyway. A person can walk up on me if I'm a convicted felon and I can't have my gun right, but I done changed my life. I'm looking good, my family looking good, and people been watching me for 2, 3 days. Bam. What if they try to come and run up on me with assault rifles and guns? What can I do? Yeah, what can I do? What can I do?
Can't do
I
anything.
can get them what they coming to rob me for, trying to take. But what if it's a dummy in the clique? That ain't enough.
Right. One
You
thing
see,
one thing I can say is that they look for law enforcement to be your protector once you have committed those crimes. And law enforcement most times don't arrive on time.
they don't arrive on time. You can call them. Where I'm from in Memphis. So, if you ain't been shot, hurt, hit by no car, and a body laying in the street, they 40 minutes before they come to your arrival.
Wow.
No matter what the cause. A person might call and say, "Hey, I'm being robbed." If this person ain't been hurt, the police gonna take 30 minutes to get there. Now, a person that committed a robbery, he'd have been and got away by now. It don't take number 60 seconds. You see what I'm
I
saying?
agree with you.
It'll take number 60 seconds. And then let's go back to felons not having a gun. Let's go back to the bad people that actually y'all ain't never caught in life. The smart ones
Mhm.
that got away. And they can get their gun license. But they still commit these crimes with the legal gun.
Right.
But they never been caught for a crime. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But they got the right to bear arms.
So that's the dangerous and scary
What can you
part.
do? That's the dangerous, scary part about everybody can have guns. Like right now, they passed a law. You don't need a permit to carry a gun. You can be 18 with a gun. Man, come on, man. Y'all getting kids fresh out of high school that don't even know how to, excuse my language, wipe their ass right, a gun.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
I,
Like, if anything, by a certain age, I say 30. Anybody over 30 have the right to carry and bear arms no matter what's the cause, no matter what's the charge, unless it's violent. You see what I'm saying?
right.
Unless it's violent that it took your gun life for the rest of your life.
So let me ask you: have you
Yeah.
ever been committed of a felony?
Yes.
And
And
been,
my feeling is it's not a crime feeling. You
not a
see what I'm
violent
saying?
crime felony.
I didn't do nothing in the midst of none of this and got a feeling. I didn't do nothing. I wasn't on no scene. I wasn't involved in it. I wasn't in nothing that got a feeling. And they'll go back to when I say that for property. You feel what I'm saying? I received stolen goods. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Somebody sold me some stolen product. Me not knowing that it was stolen, it was worth over $1,000. So they charged me with a felony.
Right.
You know? And I'm not a bad person, bro. I don't go around hurt people or nothing. Got my own business going. I sell cars. I sell dogs. You know, I got a whole family. I got 3 kids that live with me, and I'm in the neck of the woods of Memphis, Tennessee, man.
And you definitely need a gun in Memphis, Tennessee. Violence is off
You
the get off the
definitely need one
chain.
down here.
Right.
You need one down here. You can't go pump your gas and don't nothing happen, man. You see what I'm saying? Like it's just, hey, we #1 in the United States right now, man, for murder, man.
I agree with you, man. 100%.
At this very point, we are #1. The FBI be down here so hard right now. It don't make no sense, you know. But I need my gun life,
I agree with that, brother. I definitely agree with
you
that.
know, and I'm gonna do whatever to get them. You know, I pay whatever. I go to whatever class. You know, whatever they say I need to do. You know, I just to restore my rights for me to bear arms.
Man, you just said a mouthful, man. I thank you for calling in to the show, man. Thank you for calling Be Here with YB, man.
No problem.
Welcome to Be Here with YB. You are the last caller of the day. What's going on? Where you at?
Um, man, I'm in Memphis 10. What's going on with it?
We got another caller from
Call.
Memphis 10, Memphis, Tennessee. We got a couple. We had one more person that called from Memphis, man. Hey, talk to me about this question. The question is: should felons have the right to own or get their gun rights restored?
I think, yeah. I think they should have their rights restored, man. I think everybody should have the right to bear arms. Just because they made them at their younger age. People grow, grow and tend to, get everything right, man. Because just you made a few mistakes, in the beginning stages of your life when you really didn't understand. You shouldn't be held accountable for that when you done grown, matured as a grown man. You know what I'm saying, and you know what to do now. Because back then as children, we really didn't know what to do. We
Right,
were chasing a dream. You know what I'm saying, to figure out, how we gonna do this, how we gonna do that. We want this, we want that. And we ain't paying attention to the gun laws and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, I feel like if a person done went in and did their time, man, done did their little time or whatever, and stay out the way. I feel like, yeah, they should be able to bear arms, man. And now the crime, it nowadays, man. I think we need them, man. You know what I'm saying?
and
But
let me just say this to you, um, because I don't want anybody to be confused. who might, look into the law a little bit. You have certain states that will restore gun rights, but that's just on the state level. It's not on the federal level. So if you
Federal
get your
level, right?
gun license restored through the state, it's not federal. So if you go out and possess that firearm in the streets, the federal government can still penalize you for that firearm.
Right. And see, that's a bad thing, man, because I mean, state and federal law, they are definitely different. So you need to know what you're dealing with when you're dealing with the federal government and state laws. They way different, man.
Right.
They way different. So if I feel like if the state can forgive you, man, why come the federal government can't? You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you on that. 100%.
So especially like and I can see if you're a felon and you getting out, you tend to go back down that same path, that same road. You know, I feel like you shouldn't need no damn gun. You shouldn't have no gun
Right.
if you ain't learned your damn lesson. Man, you got a lot of brothers out here, a lot of sisters. Them down through there, and they know what to do now,
Mhm. I
and
agree.
and ain't trying to go back in that motherfucker, man.
Period.
So why not let them protect? Why not let them protect themselves, man?
Right. It's like sitting. It's like putting
Man,
you out in the slaughterhouse. It's like to each his own.
putting you out in each his own. I got to worry about taking a knife to a gunfight.
And I guarantee you won't
You know,
win that fight.
man, what you said.
Thanks for calling in to be here with YB, man. You have a
All
great
right,
day.
man. I'm glad you had me, man.
I appreciate you.
You too. All right.
Well, let me give y'all my account on how I feel and what I feel about fellas getting their gun rights restored. Just like we have heard from many callers on why they feel that the gun rights should be restored to felons, I also feel the same way. You have people out here committing crimes. You have people committing violent crimes every single day, and for you to have your rights snatched from you in the past and walk a road of redemption and change, and not being able to have your gun rights given back to you because of state versus federal, um, the law status. It's a line that's being argued between two sections of the government that that don't do anything for the little people. They don't do anything for people who have changed their lives and who have a family to protect. It's like saying that we're gonna throw you out to the wolves and put you on the streets and let whatever happen to you. It's like a slaughterhouse in such a sense. Because once someone know, like a predator or somebody who preys upon those who can't possess firearms, who can't possess the right to bear arms, they prey upon people like that. And just say that you come out of prison for doing 10 years and now you got your life together over a course of 5 years after prison, and now you own multiple businesses or whatever it is that you do, and your bank account is different, your money is different, you got more money, and people look at you as, okay, I want to take that, I want to get that from that person, and then they come at you with it, and then you can't protect yourself from someone taking what you have worked hard for and what you have built over time, and that's a really sad picture. Many people might have negative outlooks, many people might have a positive outlook on it, but either way it go, I think it's one's right to protect themselves and to have something to protect themselves with. But in any case, you can only say or only do and abide by the law that is given to us. So I just want to just say to y'all, you know, possess it, have it at your own caution. For my felons, the ones who are actually walking the straight and narrow. You know, whatever you do in your private time is you, but most definitely protect yourself. Keep yourself out of harm's way because obviously America is not paying attention to their citizens and knowing that to know enough about who's walking the straight and narrow and who's doing exactly what they're supposed to do. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in to Be Heard with YB. Leave your comments in the box below on what you think or how you feel about felons getting their gun license restored. And yeah, until the next show, you dig. I'm out.